Hey, it's Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we're doing our shaky cam interior walkthrough in a 2020 Hyundai Venue. The Venue is the newest from Hyundai, so this is basically a brand new vehicle. Everything about it is new. It is almost a subcompact, not quite small enough to be a subcompact, but really, really close to that. Hyundai is positioning this just underneath the Kona, and they're aiming for a pretty specific market with this car, and I think they hit that market pretty well. So one more sip of coffee and we'll get started. This being the interior walkthrough, we'll just start where we usually start. So over on the door, you got the door handle up here, and then you got the usual windows and side mirror button and switches over here. So you use this to change the side mirrors. Here's the door locks, windows. Over here, down there hiding, by the way, is the fuel release. So that opens up the fuel port. Right there is the hood, and this is the fuse box right there. Over here you've got the interior dimmers. Here you've got the lane keeping and traction control. This is part of an optional package. Right now I'm sitting in the SEL with a couple of add-ons, including the premium package, which has stuff like this in it. I believe it's the premium package. Could be one other package. There's two packages added to this. Together, those packages are roughly $3,000 in all. They're about, one of them's about $1,300, $1,400. The other one's about $1,700. And I don't remember which package has which, but I'll show you Monroney eventually, and then you can see. So, looking at the steering wheel, over here we got all your audio stuff, so you can see volume here. This changes tracks and or stations. This changes where your input is coming from. This is your voice activation, which is pretty good in this car. It works pretty okay. But honestly, once you see the touchscreen and how easy it is to just use that, you probably won't use this too much. Down here are your telephone stuff, telematics. This is for, making phone calls and hanging up. FYI, when you just hit this, it does bring up the menu and let you connect a phone if you don't have one already connected. On the right side of the steering wheel here, we have all cruise control and driver information stuff. So cruise control's on the right side right here. Turn it on and off right there. Set and resume right there. Cancel it right there. Over here, this controls the driver information screen right there in the middle. We'll come back to that, right? So you're pushing this around and doing stuff. This selects whatever you're doing and moves up and down in the menus. Pretty straightforward, nothing complicated. Over here, you've got the washer wipers. So this runs the rear up and down for the front. This controls the speed. Pull it forward to squirt the front, push it back to squirt the back. Over here, you've got lighting. So you can see it's on auto. You can make your selection there. You got signal turns. For those of you that don't know, I call them signal turns because that is the order you're supposed to use them in. Get a clue. And then back and forth for your brights. Now, looking at the instrument cluster. Over here is a tachometer, which you might use, maybe. I don't know. It's a great little turbo engine. Little 1.6 turbo. It doesn't put out a whole lot of horsepower, but this is a tiny little vehicle. It's plenty for this. It's a really good match, but you don't shift it. Like, there's an option for manual shifting, but I don't know why you would do that in this car. So tachometer seems kind of pointless, but whatever. Down here is engine heat. Over here is your speedometer, and you can see in the middle there's Canuck miles per hour. Down there are down there is the fuel. I just added a little bit to this because I put a lot of miles on this vehicle. I'm trying to add it up, and I'm trying to remember how many it was because I failed to set the trip for a total trip. But I think it's around 300 or 350. I'd have to look it up. I'd have to really think about it, but I'm pretty sure it's about 350 miles. And I put not too much. I just put a few gallons of fuel to keep it off the quarter mark. So it's like I added maybe 2 gallons. And fuel economy in this has been phenomenal. So you can see it's showing me an average of 30.1, but I don't know what that's an average for, like the total amount of driving that's included in that average. because it was showing more than that earlier. Might be because I've been idling, just sitting here idling while I'm doing these videos. I don't know, but that's a pretty good average considering the highway mileage on this is 34. I was at 32 earlier, that's what it was. I just did a video where for the review of this, and that's what I was talking about. Phenomenal fuel economy in this. I beat 34 when I did my highway tests, and I beat it by over a mile per gallon, so that was pretty impressive. So very nicely done for fuel economy on this car. It says it's 57 outside, but it feels way warmer than that. So I don't know if it's shade effect or something else, but whatever. Then you can see some of the other stuff. And then if you saw me page through the menus really quickly, so you can look at a couple of things. There are some driver assistance things on this that were added. This has like blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic and so on. Those are upgrades, and you can see the fuel economy still dropping because I've been sitting and idling. So that's pretty much it for here. I really like this layout though. It's very easy to see. The only thing I wish is that you could get a digital speedometer right here, and I don't see an option for it, which is a real bummer. But here is the infotainment screen. It's huge given the size of the car. It's not huge if you were to put it in, like, say, a full-size pickup truck. But in this vehicle, this is huge. So pretty straightforward and easy to use. You can go to different things. I'll just bring up the whole menu. So here's a lot of what you can look at. We can look at my driving info. So in the 8 miles I drove this morning, you can see what I accomplished in that. And you can see how I drove. I was on the freeway for a goodly portion of that, FYI. And then this is the home screen button. So anytime you're not on the home screen, that shows up there. So we can go and we can look. There's here's a list of voice commands. Here's a quick guide for it so you can learn how to use it. It has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Neither one is active because there's no phone plugged in. And then you can see just kind of some of the other stuff. Nicely done and very quick. So you can, all of this is really straightforward. You can tell what it does just looking at it. You don't have to make any guesses. Down here, some hard buttons to make this a little bit easier even. These two are probably what you're going to use the most. This is cool because you can start, you know, you like the song or the artist or whatever, you can start it and then do some things with that, like have it pop up and tell you that it started playing on whatever channel on XM, and you can say, yeah, I want to listen to it. Navigation and so on right there. Navigation works pretty okay in this, by the way. I like it. Over here is the volume control. Over here, I probably should point the camera at it. Over here is the volume control. I like that it's big because it makes it easy to grab and use without having to look up from the wheel. I use the volume on the wheel the most, but this is awesome. Over here is the tuner, little bitty thing, right? Also good because you want to be able to know what you're grabbing as soon as you grab it. Note that those are the only two knobs. Awesome. Down here's your Duke's lights, because in hazard county, you're going to need to run them hazards. Over here is the push button start. As far as I know, that's standard for this car across the board. Defrosts in the middle and climate controls right here. My only beef with climate in this is I don't feel like it's intuitive. I feel like I'm having to look at these every time I run the climate. So when I have the auto on, you can see what the temperature is and you can change it. That's pretty obvious. But I just feel like I keep having to look at this and I can't pinpoint why that is. So whenever I use it, I have to look. In a whole week, I have not been able to just get to the point where I intuitively am reaching down and doing something. And that, I don't know why that is. So I can't pinpoint a reason. I can't give you some scientific explanation for it. All I can do is say, it's annoyed me. But small complaint, may not apply to everybody. Down here you got some plugs. So you can see faster charging power plug there, regular USB and data right there, and there's your 12 volt right there. Good spot for your phone, just drop it right here. But if it's long like mine, it ends up sticking out over this a little bit, and then you smash your finger when you put it in the park. Just FYI. This was not caused by that, but you do feel it. So, you know, put your phone in sideways. Over here you got the shifter, like I was saying, and then the shift pattern's pretty straightforward. You can put it in manual, you can drive it in manual, but honestly it's kind of pointless. So I don't know why you would bother. Seat bun warmers right here, so seat heaters. And then the drive modes right here, you have like snow and sport and normal. Those are the three modes. Sport mode changes a couple of things, makes it a little bit sportier, but not by much. It's like most sport modes. It makes you feel like you're in sport mode because you just shifted into sport mode, so you must be, right? It's placebo. A lot of cars do that. Handbrake, which is cool and highly useful. You can see I have it set because we're parked. Then you can see my new coffee mug. Thanks, Mima. It has cars all over it. Check that out. How cool is that? Anyway, good sized drink holders. Nice and open space too, so you can get a lot in here. I had two giant water things in here, and it was awesome. Here's a little storage cubby. This is actually part of a package. Normally you would just have a overhanging armrest right here, and you can see the little bitty cubby down there. And then this is supposed to slide back and forth. There you go. So you can adjust it. So this is part of an option package. On the passenger side, you can see the overall layout. See that? It's kind of square, but that goes with the look of the vehicle. This Hyundai describes the look of the Venue here as a bulldog, and that's a pretty apt description. And then right here you can see in this mouth looking thing, right? Because you got two eyes and a mouth. Get it? See? Now you can't unsee that. Nice little storage, but it's not rubberized or anything, so things you put in there are going to slide around. Good sized glove box, decent layout. I don't like black on black, right, but it's okay. It's not bad, and this is a $23,000 car. It's not a Maserati or a, dare I say, McLaren. Coming soon. Spoiler. All right, so this is cloth seating, and it's really good cloth seating. Hyundai's always had good cloth seating, and this is no exception. Very, very well done. I like the feel of it. I like cloth seating anyway because it doesn't get hot, and then it's just nicely done with plenty of repellent. Remember, I have 3 kids. So, back seat, pretty good size back there. I like the back seats. 3 across is pushing it a little bit. Kind of pushing it with 3 across, right? But you can get 2 in there easy. 3 kids across, like I said, that was a little cramped, but they were okay. Cargo area is huge. So this comes with an option for this cargo tray thing that you can move around and do different things with. It's not in this. All the stuff is there for it, just the tray isn't there. And I suspect that it got lost somewhere along the way before the car came to me. The other thing is maybe it just comes that way by default, but this doesn't have that tray option. I'm gonna have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure it just got lost along the way. Monroney. So this is like I said, it's $23,400 for this as I'm sitting in it. You can get it for a lot less than that. Entry-level price is under $20,000. And I think the entry-level price is like 18 or 19. I think it's about $19,000. So really great car for that price. Yeah, so I'm highly impressed. That's what I got. It's a small car, so it only took about 15 minutes to go through it. See that? Economy. All right, so this has been Aaron on autos.com. And this is the 2020 Hyundai Venue. Again, SEL package with a couple of add-ons. Talk to you again soon. Subscribe.